past 6 o'clock right here on Big Breakfast. Today FM, today's hit music.
Hey, I'm Pauline.
And I'm Alan. Tune in to the Breakfast Show on Today FM with Pauline and I every weekday morning
from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
Today FM, today's hit music.
Tonight on FBC News, 3 people hospitalized after landslide in Akasi. Suvarnabhumi road widening to kick into high gear from next month. And slight delays to Nadi airport upgrades. Good evening, I'm Akusita Tale and you're watching FBC News. 3 people are in hospital after their house collapsed under landslide farm road in Akasi. The heavy rain experienced over the past few weeks resulted in the landslide at about 10 o'clock this morning. Alan Stalls has the story.
It only took a minor landslide to cause major damage to this wooden house in Sasawira squatter settlement, injuring 3 people inside at the time.
The wife was trapped and the son was trapped in the house.
Neighbors rushed to the crumbled home and pulled out the occupants. The family home was built 7 years ago and did not have any problems until the recent spell of heavy rain and bad weather over the past few weeks. The community here at Sasawira settlement has banded together to help this family who's lost everything in this landslide. Furniture and other personal belongings were moved to relatives' homes nearby and placed in boxes for safe storage.
We have got a good community here who are helping us, one way or the other. Even I request the government to intervene and can help him out because he's the only breadwinner.
With Christmas less than 4 days away, this family will be rebuilding their home and trying to make ends meet before school begins next year. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
The road widening project stretching from Suva to Nausori will bring huge benefits for people using the highway and those who live along the area. The Fiji Roads Authority has already started work on the 4-lane project, which kicks into high gear from next month. Sakio Sanaivwa reports.
Roads along the Suva-Nausori corridor and Nausori to Wanibokasi roundabout will be upgraded for the benefits for both motorists and pedestrians. The FRA has been working with the Fiji Electricity Authority to relocate overhead power lines. This is necessary too for works to progress between Thangiri, Peeling Road, Makoi to Omkar in Nasino.
In Wanibokasi Road, we have the existing 2-lane will be upgraded as 2-lane, new footpaths, new street lighting, better road surface, new road drainage, new bus stops and bus shelters.
The existing 2-lane road in Akasi will also be expanded to 4 lanes. The FRA is still evaluating tenders from construction companies binding to construct the 4-lane road network. However, minor works have been ongoing in the meantime. Khan adds there are civil aviation rules that also need to be considered for road works in Nausori.
Working with AFL to make sure that we stick within the flight path restrictions and safety. So that requires a lot of coordination, and throughout the year on all of our contracts we've been doing that anywhere near the airports.
The cost of road widening in Wanibokasi is $13.3 million. $18 million will be spent between Thangiri to Omkar Road in Nasino. The FRA is also asking the public to be more vigilant because workers have pulled out and upgrades have stopped to avoid delayed movement during this festive season. Sakyusa Naivua, FBC News.
There will be some delays to the upgrade and modernization of the Nadi airport. The project now will be completed in stages. Chanel Sivan reports.
The $102 million project has hit some roadblocks, with the contractors unable to source some raw materials needed to keep the work on schedule. Airports Fiji Limited Chairman Faiz Khan has confirmed, however, the first stage, which is the international departure area on the first floor, will be completed by first quarter of 2015.
We've had a few bumps, mainly because the contractor has had certain difficulties in procurement of steel. So there's been some delays. the project is going to be delivered in stages. So we will have the first stage delivered around the end of April of next year.
Following this, 10 weeks will be given to tenants to set up their duty-free outlets, and AFL expects the international departure to be fully operational by end of July. The project is carried out by New Zealand group Hawkins Infrastructure and joint venture partner Pacific Building Solutions. With the modernization underway, the Public Enterprise Ministry plans to review rent charges at the Nadi International Airport and increase revenue.
If you compare the charges that we have in Nadi, say compared to Sydney, Brisbane, even some of the other Pacific Island countries, we are like 300-400% cheaper than what they have. We're even cheaper than Samoa or Tonga. So obviously, we need to play catch up in those areas, and we look forward to working with the Commerce Commission in that respect to ensure that Nadi has its true potential. Nadi is the only airport, ladies and gentlemen, that makes money for AFL.
The project will see a 400 square meter increase in floor space, comprising of a new check-in building, additional counters, and new safety systems. Construction was initially supposed to be complete by October next year. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
Coming up, global franchise called Chatime opens in Suva.
Bula FM nambandua na serena iwan siningaw na ni Batara ni sibiti ko weekend na diwa en na tini na miniti na may pakuriti ore bengrabe na nontan nonongo kanda na dapat ko anin rona kaloko en ay kamen din debo bili na tayo wali ni may dapat ko na wani matakabo kan lib sarti ko na bisere talio ni na namaka do ba tayo may kina na kenan daw ro di kanamaki Bula binaka ayo salamilawa do ba tayo kiyawa na Batara na wani vio na kaloko moni tiki na ba rombuka en ang Bula FM nambandua en na serena
How are you doing, Fiji? Yes, indeed, fast approaching, well, the major bulletin. But before we even talk about the major bulletin, what about my little news flash?
Oh my gosh, please don't let him get me started on that again.
Getting on the bus yesterday, and then he tells me, brother, move on to the other seat, because we can fit two people where you're sitting.
Hey, you can't blame the dude for being honest, okay?
There was nothing honest about what he said. Hi, I'm Phil.
And I'm Fina.
Your daybreak duo on Gold FM. From Mondays to Fridays.
From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Turn us on.
Welcome back. A new experience is now available at Tapu City in Suva. Chatime is a tea franchise specializing in bubble tea that's becoming popular around the world. Landslide reports 2 locals have invested in the global chain and opened Fiji's first Chatime outlet.
This is the first Chatime outlet in the country. Bubble tea started in 2005 and has quickly grown to more than 1,000 stores across Asia, the United States, Australia, and the newest, right here in the capital city.
Chatime is an international brand. It's a bubble tea chain which originated in Taiwan about 10 years ago, and this year it's its 10th anniversary. We are just very passionate about the brand. Our families love the product, and we thought that it would be a good addition to the food and beverage scene in Suva and in Fiji, having a very wide appeal. And for us to introduce this tea culture in Fiji, I think we're very happy to do that, and we hope that people will enjoy themselves.
It's a modern touch to a tea culture that has existed in Taiwan for hundreds of years. Chatime outlets around the world are estimated to serve more than 350,000 people a day.
Teas are freshly brewed here to order. It's not tea that's made and sitting there for a few hours. teas there's a variety of different teas here. Green teas, jasmine tea, oolong tea, Tikuan teas. With the teas that have been ordered, we could add pearls to it, there's jellies, anything that's cold, additional ingredients like jellies, pearls could be added to it. That makes it totally different from the teas you get from the cafes.
This shop in the Tapu City food court began operations last Monday, but the owners held a soft opening yesterday, inviting friends and close family to try the new product.
It's very easy for customers to take it away. There's a bubble tea. In order to get to the bubbles, you have a nice fat straw to slurp, and the teas, once they are sealed, it allows a little bit of that shaking process. The shaking process creates the bubbles in the juice, and that's give you a lift in terms of a refreshment. And that's why you have also the term bubble tea. The pearls, which themselves, as well as the air that has gone into the process. So every cup is individually made. It's a very personalized cup of tea at a very affordable price.
Director of Tapu City, Mahen Tapu, says they were fully supportive of this venture, as it's the first of its kind in Fiji.
Tapu City is all about quality and brand name, and we've got a beautiful international food court. Ideally, from day one, what we wanted was a number of international franchises coming up and taking the various outlets. So Chatime has come. Obviously, it's a very, very successful outlet overseas. Like Newton said, there's about 1,000 outlets already around the world in every advanced country you can think of, and they're all doing very well. Once you try the product, you'll know why. It's a very high-quality product.
Chatime has a variety of drinks such as milk tea, fresh tea, fruit tea, juices, smoothies and coffee. Some stores carry anything between 30 to over 90 flavors. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
In this week's Successful Fijian segment, we take you to the Western Division. Our journalist Christopher Chan brings you this inspiring story about Eileen Rodenberg and the rise of her business Bulino, Nadi's prominent coffee shop.
Fiji's coffee culture has grown significantly, more so due to Western influence. But to make the perfect coffee takes great skill, one that Bulino is renowned for. The owner is Eileen Chute Rodenberg. She grew up in a big family at their copra plantation at Undu Point, the most northern part of Fiji, got married at the age of 22 and left with her Dutch husband Adrian Rodenberg on his international postings of over 30 years before returning to Fiji in 2006. They have 4 children, all of whom help run the business.
When we finally came back to Fiji at that time, I always wanted, wherever we traveled, to have this coffee shop that I once saw in Milan. And what I loved about it was every day that I went, I was traveling with my older daughter then, and on top of the coffee cup, there was always a different design, and it was just so lovely. And the coffee was beautiful. So I thought, that's what I'm going to do.
So began her love affair with coffee. Her son-in-law Harley helped coin their brand Bulino, which eventually became the company name. The business started in May 2006 in Nadi town as a cafe right next to the Nadi River. From their humble beginnings, they now have 3 outlets, one in Suva, which opened in 2011, their main shop at Namaka in 2012, and more recently in Denarau this year.
I never really thought it's going to get this big, where we employ over 70 people and maybe 5 or 10 more on the farm as well. And we started with the coffee shop because that was the easier thing to get into than going into a fully fledged restaurant or cafe restaurant like we have now. So I think also because we're very particular about the taste of the coffee, the way the coffee is made, and that the machine must be cleaned. All these things play a very important part. We can try a coffee somewhere else made with the same beans, but it won't be the same.
Not only does Bulino have high standards, but it also has its own bakery and organic farm, which supplies fresh produce. In 2013 and this year, TripAdvisor awarded them with a certificate of excellence. It hasn't been all plain sailing. They have had their fair share of challenges. The floods in 2009 and ultimately 2012 drove them away from Nadi town to set up at this location in Namaka.
The last one in 2012, it was so bad that it just washed everything out. We had huge logs, we had cars that just smashed up against the building, and we lost just so much in that flood. To the point where I thought, are we going to carry on? It was a difficult time as well, because apart from the cafe in town being flooded, we had the house we were renting also flooded. We had 11 feet of water. That was the deepest on that street where we were living at that time, Mountain View. And then the farm also was kind of blown to bits.
The business has never looked back, with future goals of expanding to other Pacific islands.
I feel so proud. I really, really do, because I never expected that I would come this far. I thought it would be just that cafe. That would be, that would be it. And of course now we've come this far, and then now we have plans for, for something more.
Eileen is best described by an article which was published in 2007, which said, Eileen Rodenberg is an epitome of a success story in heaven. The energy and karma that surrounds her speaks volumes of the reasons behind her expanding chain of coffee shops in Fiji.
So to be successful, I think you have to be prepared, in the first place, to love what you do. For me, that's important. It's important that I enjoy and I love what I do, and I know that I have to work at it, work hard, and after that you can relax a bit more. Like, I feel I'm starting to relax after 8 years, but we have to go to a different level again.
So the next time you are at Bulino, you'll know how much love has been put into making that coffee for you. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
If goat is on the menu this Christmas, be prepared to pay as much as $400. It's a lot of money for livestock, but as Ellen Stoltz finds out, it's an expense that people are willing to take.
For the past 7 years, Mohammed Akim has been supplying people with goat meat. This festive season alone, he has sold 300 goats in total and says business has never been better.
It's a good business. The farmers in Banwalabu, they supply to goat to me. They help us, those people there. And I bring it here, sell it to here. Every time to come, the people, they buy it here.
These animals are not only low maintenance, but frightfully expensive as well. Some going as much as $400, if not more. However, Akim says the price does not stop customers from seeking out people like him and paying top dollar.
Pricing myself 150 to reach up 380. No, I just bring from Banwalabu. Bua, Lakutu, Korkandi, got friendly customers.
The family also sell other livestock like these ducks that are going for about $20 each. It may not be a white-collar job, but Akim says it earns a lot more money, not only during festive seasons like Christmas, but for weddings and other large functions. Meanwhile, these goats help him get money in the bank all year around. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Coming up in sports, 7 Fijians chosen for Pacific Aussie Rules team.
बॉलीवुड हीरो पंती रे। Get this.
हीरो सपना दिखेला बंद करो।
क्या करूं यार, सबको आती नहीं, मेरी जाती नहीं।
मिर्ची मस्त मॉर्निंग में हूँ अश्निल सिंह।
हाय मैं हूँ काजल।
शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
6 AM to 9 AM
मिर्ची FM, it's hot.
Saruan dulu na kaloko na Radio Fiji wana ndomi wiki na buongani binano. Nisambolo binaka na ngono baro taki ni rongo sere na ngono nindreko malolo. Nisambolo binaka. Oye wa meli kilangi. Ningi nama kati umena nungu bengi rawi maina moni tiki na warombuka na rua kina wana kaloko na ngono ni rongo mani besana. Waki na wono na ngono ni rongo sere na Radio Fiji wana na ndomi wiki na buongani binano yanu.
Leading sports tonight, the Rewa Youth football team has won this year's Fiji Sun Skipper Tuna National Youth League title. The side came from a goal down to beat Bar 2-1 in the final at Govin Park in Bar. Both teams were locked 1-1 at halftime, but Jamal Khan's goal in the 53rd minute ensured victory for the Junior Delta Tigers. 7 players from the Fiji under-15 side that took part in the Australian Football League Oceania Cup tournament has been picked to represent the Pacific at the AFL Cup tournament in Australia next year. These 7 players will join other players from Tonga, Vanuatu, Samoa and Nauru to make a formidable side. They will play teams from Australia, New Zealand and Papua New Guinea in the tournament.
This is the first step for these boys. So our 5 countries and our affiliates from here obviously come to our Oceania Cup, and from there we hand select, identify 15 to 20 talented young boys as it stands now, and we'll take them to a talent camp in Brisbane where they will be alongside. We'll have another 15 to 20 Papua New Guinean boys as well. So we're still fine-tuning our systems to make sure we have the right system for these boys. Obviously, you know, it's expensive for everyone, it's expensive for the boys, so we want to make it as cost effective as possible, and at the same time giving them a really good opportunity to potentially be the next Nick Nat Nui if you're a Fijian boy playing in the AFL, earning lots of money and being a superstar of the AFL.
The AFL Cup tournament will be held in April next year. Showers was experienced of the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Afternoon or evening showers was experienced elsewhere. A trough of low pressure remains slow moving to the east of Fiji and extends northwestward over to the north of Rotuma. Meanwhile, another trough of low pressure lies slow moving over Tuvalu and extends eastwards over to Samoa to Cook Islands to Tahiti. Nadi topped the list at 34 degrees this afternoon. Most other centers had warm conditions as well. Tomorrow's forecast is for more showers and thunderstorms over the Fiji group. Some showers over the interior and the eastern parts of larger islands. Afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms elsewhere. Recapping our top stories, 3 people are in hospital tonight after being trapped in a house that collapsed under a landslide in Nosori. The Fiji Roads Authority says the Suva to Nosori road widening project will kick into high gear from 2015, and Nadi International Airport modernization project delayed as contractors face difficulty in the supply of steel. This week's poll question: has Christmas been over-commercialized? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenshights@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FBC News, or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply #FBC News. That's your news for tonight. Do join Jackie Spate and the team from tomorrow evening. Bye for now.
झिलमिल सितारों का
घर संसार में आपका स्वागत है।
आपका अपना छोटा सा स्वर, जहाँ प्यार भरे रिश्ते पलते हैं, जहाँ हेल्थी रहने की सलाह दी जाती है, जहाँ हम आपको और भी सुंदर बनाते हैं और जहाँ स्वाद की सौगात भी है। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ पल्लवी। सोमवार से शुक्रवार 9 से 12 तक रेडियो FBC देश की धड़कन पर घर संसार में शामिल रहिए मेरे साथ।
ऐसा सुंदर सपना अपना